we got to be able to try to give kids that. And, the world is full of a lot of despair at times, and it's unfortunate, that not everybody gets the opportunity to dream like that. And I just, if we can reinforce it in some way, I think that's important.
Hi, Ty. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Jana. How are you?
Good. And you?
I'm doing real well, thank you.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's a wonderful movie. I didn't know this story. Yeah. I know it's based on a true story, but it's a beautiful movie. I cry. I got emotional sometimes. Some of them I got like hope, because you can see that it's still good people living in this world, even though it's a story from the past. But I still have faith in humanity. So that's good.
We got like faith somewhere out there, right?
Yeah. But what was like this story so it was so important to you to bring to the big screen?
I read the book and I was so touched by Rusty, out of the gate. It dives into his sort of backstory and who he is as a man, and you just, as a human being, and it's just like, wow, he was at the top of his game with this other football program in Temple, Texas, and left all that to go coach at the orphanage with really no provisions, no system set up, nothing in place for him to be a successful coach nor teacher. And he just said, to heck with it. I'm going to just do it because this is what I got to do with my life. And, he went off and did it and turned the whole school and program around and orphanage around and made it a place that was a safe, loving place for these kids. And I just thought that was so admirable, and honorable. And why not? You got to share these types of stories with the world just so that they're able to, be reminded, that humanity is beautiful at times, and hopefully most of the time. And I loved how his story through football kind of captured this great spirit of this sort of stoic Texas man, just kind of giving his life back to these kids. And, I really was touched by that. My wife is actually in education and has a couple little schools, and I'm involved with her. And I think it's important to be able to positively, affect kids' lives. They're just, their brains and their worlds are so impressionable, at these ages. And I just think that, the more we can do as parents to give and mentors to guide these kids and give them opportunities and give them a chance to believe a little bit and hope and just have a dream,
Yeah.
I don't care, what it is, it just, we got to be able to try to give kids that. And, the world is full of a lot of despair at times, and it's unfortunate, that not everybody gets the opportunity to dream like that. And I just, if we can reinforce it in some way, I think that's important.
Yeah. And I think they have so much love, Rusty and Juanita, so much love to give, and that's why we need to learn with them.
Yeah.
To give back. We also give back to the community here, where we live, and then it's fulfillment. So
yeah, absolutely.
And talking about
where are you from, Jana?
I'm from Brazil, but I live here in LA. So
nice. It's super important, that back in the day, these boys were, the most destitute of all. Fort Worth was known as the end of the line for orphans. Like orphans from the Northeast, like New York and Chicago and Detroit, they would all send their orphans on the train line down to Fort Worth. It was called the orphan train. Yeah. So there's tons of orphans down there. So, it was really the kids in America at that time that were in the toughest shape. So.
Exactly. And like filming, what was like the most challenge like for you? Like filming, I know you're filming Texas and like you at the city, Fort Worth. But what was like the most challenge for you?
Well, to me, it's always wanting to be able to give all the characters as much exposure as possible, and really, having to limit myself, for a 2-hour movie, and having such a big story and having so many different characters. I really love to experiment with my actors and to have fun and to play and to work off script, and to not be able to do that, to have to be on such a strict deadline every day, and like knowing, okay, we got to go in there and get this with 3 or 4 takes, and I can't really move the camera around 10 times like I want, go run into a corner and play with these guys. I was just pretty limited by our time, and that was a huge challenge for me as someone who appreciates and loves to play around and have fun with the kids. It was fairly limiting to me, and it's such a big story in general too. We put it into one season, but Rusty was there 16 years, and these boys were there many years, and their backstories are all so unique and interesting. It was just really tough to cull everything down to that 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I always say, we've got a great TV series in there if someone will take it. There's so many rich stories behind all these kids' lives that it would be so great to tell, and really revealing, and just a lot of inclusive and thoughtful backstories to these challenging times and during these kids' lives when they were having such a difficult time that I think it would be great to expand upon. But
I was gonna say that to you, like you have a TV series there, because there's so much like different characters, different like stories, and that's why the movie is so rich, and I liked it. And I think you picked the right actor to play Rusty. Luke Wilson, I think he's great, and not just him, the whole cast is amazing. So Martin Sheen, Robert Duvall there, Vanessa Shaw, everybody. How was like for you like to work with them?
Well, to me, it was really, I had to pinch myself a few times on set, thinking that I was commanding a ship with such talented, wonderful actors. And, to be in the presence of really just some of the great actors of our time, between Martin and Bobby Duvall, who are really in some of my favorite films of all time. I mean, Robert Duvall is one of my top actors of all. So it was just an honor to be able to have a project like this in Texas, in my home state, and to be able to get the support from folks like this. And, Luke Wilson was such a wonderful collaborator in so many ways. That to me is what, as a director, when you can find a collaborator who gives you 110% and who you can talk with openly and shoot ideas around, and work with on a very compromising level, where you're constantly just really trying to focus on the main product, which is getting the best performance and the best story together as you can. And Luke was just a wonderful collaborator on that side, and just a lot of fun, and just a real sweet, cool guy, and just a great experience. And then bring in Martin Sheen, who's like the same thing, but in a different way, and so playful and fun, and such a sweetheart of a man, and really cautious and wanting to serve the movie and the story as most as he possibly could, while respecting what I wanted, and very cautiously asking, hey, what if we do this? And me being like, thank you, and giving him the free will to run with it to a degree as well. Some of my favorite little lines are things he just threw out there, and that's what you got to do as a director, is know, and give, the freedom to your actors to run with things, and to play with it to a degree. And, for Vanessa Shaw came in at the last minute, and she put together sort of her character in a very short amount of time, but brought it out so beautifully and simply, and just kind of as she would have probably in that age, you know, in that time period. And you know, pulled off a great role with Juanita Russell, and you know, was just a very loving, caring woman. And just Vanessa killed it and did a wonderful job with that. So many of those boys did so great too. You know,
Yeah.
Jacob Laughlin, Jake Austin Walker, and Slade Monroe, and you know, just really had a wonderful time casting these boys. And a lot of them, most of them were non-actors. So
Yeah, I was like doing the research, I noticed that. And then I think they, just to be like work with you and be around those famous actors, I think they learn a lot. And
I think they did.
You be a huge experience.
Oh yeah, I mean that to me is just as important as telling the movie, is giving opportunities to young boys here in Texas and locally to be able to experience this. You know, that was huge for them. I'm certain we changed some lives, you know,
Yeah.
these boys' lives, and what they want to do and how they want to, you know, pursue their careers, things like that. So I think it was really, really a powerful, very impactful film and experience for a lot of people. And that to me really was really the best part of it.
Absolutely. And are you have any new projects coming up that you're already working on?
I am working on a few projects. I'm adapting a book called The Falcon Thief, about the Pablo Escobar of the rare raptor egg trade, which is quite interesting. And I believe it is a TV series. I mean, it's such a huge story as well. And then I've got a couple other things that I can't really dig into just yet, but they're exciting. You know, one's actually about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and during their time in Patagonia. So it's a pretty wonderful story.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. So Ty, I'm just want to thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And, you know, I cannot wait for your next project. And I hope this movie is going to touch more hearts, because it was already in theaters. Now everybody's going to be able to watch at home. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jana. Appreciate your time and interest. Thank you.
Of course. Appreciate yours. Bye. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.